Everybody, I hope all is well, man. This is Chris with That Square Sports Podcast and also Outside the Quad. Today we diving in. We're talking about Fernando Mendoza, and yes, I am right about the thumbnail. I don't think that he was the best quarterback in this draft, but I believe that he is the most. We'll just talk about it. Last night, of course, obviously, he went against the better defenses in the NFL. Probably top 5, top 2, top 3, or top 1. However you want to put it. He went against that last night. Yes, he had a pick. He actually threw a couple of bad balls in that first drive, and I'll break it down in the video here too as well. The one catch where he made to Naylor for about like good 15, 20 yards actually should have been there earlier prior to that because the safety was sitting right there. If the safety was just a little bit taller, but, we always say if in sports, if, the Bills would have made the field goal, so on and so forth. I got you. My dilemma with Fernando Mendoza is that I can't get a feel for the guy 100% due to the fact of how his mechanisms work. I've seen him against a trash defense, and I've seen him against a good defense. Arizona, he looked great. But then again, it's Arizona. I expect you to look great. Also, mind you, this is preseason. There's no Will Anderson. There's no Delaney Hunter. There's no really big name guys except for our rookie. I'm a Texans fan, by the way. But our rookie, McDonald. That was it. Outside of that, I'll be honest with you guys. There really wasn't much defenders on the field for the Texans that they're just trying to get a job. Same thing with, obviously the Cardinals as well. And I looked at it too. Linderbaugh also wasn't starting at center. That is probably a huge, huge factor in him playing QB. But let's talk about it, right? Let's dive in and let's dissect. Shoulder square, I like that. Feet, good read. Picks up things, steps up in the pocket, smooth. I love it. If you look at the play, Naylor is still in his route. While he's still in his route, he has to break out of it to get to the ball. That should have been an interception. Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are going to probably just be like, oh my gosh, yes, it's such a great play. That's not what they practice in practice. I can tell you that right now. That's not what there was no need to rush. There was no need nothing. Now, further down the line, obviously, the next few plays, you guys see the interception. I get that. 100%. Cool. But throughout this drive, Fernando Mendoza had really set up the pass. I mean, the running very, very well. Shout out to Washington. By the way, I should do a video on Washington. Like, he might be a steal in the draft for the Raiders. But is Mendoza enough of a QB for the Raiders in the future? I could see him winning the Raiders possibly 8 to 7 games. Outside of that, right now, and like I say, guys, this is 2 games in. It's quite a bit because I honestly believe that the Raiders have gone out and got a really good set of players defensively. It's just the way I'm looking at Mendoza and how he's playing. He plays very, I want to say reserve, but he got back out there, did what he needed to do. Semi-effective against probably the greatest defense. A better defense than the Arizona, because he flowed against Arizona. And this is what you're going to be seeing every Sunday, man. This is a real NFL defense that he's going to go against. So he's gotta really home in, and that, like I keep saying, I know it's his second game and it's preseason. None of these stats matter, but tape don't lie. He did this at Indiana quite a bit. They had a really good run game in Indiana. And mind you, their receivers beside, Elijah Surratt and, of course, Omar Cooper. I don't know where. Amari Cooper went to Alabama. I'm sorry. The thing between those two guys is, they were great physical receivers. They could beat anybody. You're playing Northwestern, of course, I got you. You're playing against I don't know, McDonald's University and Basket Weave Tech, yeah, they can do that. This is the NFL. Everybody's just as good on the outside, if not better, and there's a few exceptions. Right now, the Raiders don't have exceptional receivers. They don't have that. They have Brock Bowers. And in this case, throwing the ball across the middle of the field was actually a red flag for Mendoza in these past few games against the Cardinals and, of course, against the Texans. So beating off the linebackers, trying to no, that ain't happening. Not right now. And something has to change within the next week. And, of course, obviously, he's not starting for the season, which is really good for him. But that dinking and dunking, all that type of offense, I wanted to see him really push the ball down the field. I wanted to see, 20, 25 yards. I didn't want to see check downs. I didn't really want to see a lot of, flats, stop and go route, slants. I wanted to see like a true 12, 25 yard post, things of that nature, right? So these are the things that I look for when I see a young rookie quarterback. In addition to that, Linderbaugh wasn't playing. A lot of the starters weren't playing. I try to sympathize with it. He's in there with the 2s and 3s. Mendoza, he's just got to show me more. Now, the plus side of Mendoza was he's a tough cookie, man. Tough guy. Got really good. He gets the ball out fast. I'm talking quick. As I had to stop for a second and think. I went back to the Arizona game, and I realized this guy, Fernando Mendoza, truthfully really risked throwing the ball. Like, he gives you a heart attack once you look through the QB lens. Jesus Christ. All right, so in the Arizona game, he drops back. It's about a cool little 12, 15-yard gain. And it's beautiful from the point of view of you're watching at home. Now, when they go to QB vision, he sells the play action. Perfect. Feet, square, everything. But he telegraphs the route so damn bad. There's literally 3 Cardinals in the area, right? And you're saying, oh, man, well, he got it through a tight window. Okay, that's cool. No, that's fine. I get what you're saying. When you play teams like the Broncos, the Texans, so on and so forth, the Rams, that window is going to be shut, possibly pick 6 or, 3 points on the board because the field is now flipped. That's the thing that Mendoza's got to work on. That's for sure one of the things that Mendoza's got to work on. But, man, I can tell you right now, homie can sell a play action. Homie can sell. When I tell you, man, boy, he had me believing. That I really thought that Malik Washington was getting them balls handed to him. Pause. Oh my God. Pause. Anyways, I would also like to see more of his athleticism. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Obviously, he's your number 1 pick overall, so on and so forth. But like in the Arizona game, he wasn't afraid to tuck it and run. If he didn't see what he liked, get it straight out, boom. And that's something that, like I said, the upsides of having, him on your team, like he has to realize, like, all right, that's gonna have to work for me. Is I got a little bit of motion, I can move, get out of there. The problem is though, is once that first read is gone, it's over with. And he telegraphs his pass so much. It's scary to me. Whew. I really just don't know how effective this will be. Even in a touchdown to, Beach, it got in a tight window and you're like, oh man, that's cool. But man, if these linebackers were a step faster, and I'm playing the game of what if, I'm playing the game of preseason, I'm playing the game of all these things, right? The ifs. A lot of y'all are saying if had a fifth, it'd all be drunk, right? Isn't that how it goes? Something like that. And I'm thinking to myself more and more as I watch, do the Raiders really know what they got themselves into with this pick? And I hope I hope, frankly, a year from now, y'all come in the comments, or if just in general, be like, hey man, you was wrong. Like, you're 100% wrong about these guys. These guys out here balling. Cool. I'll take that with a grain of salt. I'll take that as far as you want me to take it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, I'm trying my best to really put together what NFL scouts saw for him to go number one. And I kind of been on the don't get Mendoza train as your top priority pick. If you were a Raiders or Jets fan, I didn't think he was going to save the franchise. But who else was there at QB? It is what it is. I'm not in love with the tape like I thought I would be, but I do like that he takes advantage of situations like, playing the Cardinals or a lower, lesser tier defense. And that's kind of what Kubiak, I think, wants deep down inside. He's really just getting the confidence up for the kid. That's all it is. He just wants him to get a slow introduction to the NFL. I think by year 2, he probably will be more polished and more ready to go. Just because the situation is only going to get better. Even if the Ravens are picking in the top, X, Y, Z again. Top 10, top 15. That means they're going to get a good player. They can trade up. They can make some capital, make some moves, so on and so forth. That's how I see it the first 2 weeks of this preseason with Mendoza. You guys got me if you're a Raiders fan. If not, shout out to you, man. Peace.